Hello, friends. Welcome to Living Stories with Debbie. I am Debbie. Took me forever to get the lighting right. Gosh, it's like every single time I have to figure it out. Look at that. Do you see that book? If you're on YouTube, you can spread your screen out and you can get really close to that book. We will be reading that later on this week. But for today, we have a book. Bring me some apples and I'll make you a pie. That is what we're going to read. A story about Edna Lewis. And this is a true story about a true young woman, young girl, who actually becomes a chef. Would you guys like to be a chef? Any of you out there want to be a chef, somebody who cooks in a kitchen, or actually is a personal chef, which means you don't cook in a restaurant kitchen, let's say. You can cook in somebody's house and they pay you and it's a job and you make meals for the family. I have seen people, you may have seen them too, where they go on personal boats and yachts and outings like that and make all the food for all the guests for however long they're there. I know you have seen it because he's pretty popular. There's even chuck wagon cooks. So if any of you have ever thought that the love of cooking or putting ingredients together, the thought process is there that you might like to someday do that. That would be wonderful. Or maybe you just want to be a really great cook for your family when you're older. This is called, once again, Bring Me Some Apples and I'll Make You a Pie. So it starts with this very colorful inside. Whippoorwill, calls the little gray bird. Whippoorwill, whippoorwill. The melody echoes through the quiet woods and wends its way down the hill to the just waking farm. This is the sound Edna's been waiting for all winter long. Time to get up, she says, poking her sleepy little sister. I hear the whippoorwill. That means it's gathering time. I'm ready for the taste of spring. After breakfast, Edna and her sister head out to the fields to pick wild strawberries, the first fruit of the season. Mama says, better hurry. You'll need to outrun the rabbits to get all those berries. Daddy says, fill as many baskets as you can. Larder's empty. Sister says, one for the basket and one for the taste. Edna says, there'll be strawberry shortcake for dinner tonight. And look at all those strawberries. A few days later, with the chill almost gone from the early morning air, Auntie and the children gather wild greens before the leaves unfurl. There's mustard, purslane, dandelion, and peppery watercress. Says Auntie, a fresh, crisp salad to nourish the heart and soul as well as the body. Edna recites, but I have never tasted meat, nor cabbage, corn, or beans, nor milk or tea that's half as sweet as the first mess of greens. Have you guys ever had greens before? I never have. Never have I had greens before, other than a salad. Have you ever had cooked greens? I haven't. Soon the catbird is back and the dogwoods are blooming. So let me show you the pretty dogwoods. Oh, those are beautiful. Soon the catbird is back and the dogwoods are blooming. Edna follows Daddy behind the plow, pressing her bare feet into the soft, just turned earth. The plow tosses up roots from the nearby sassafras tree, and each piece a prize in Edna's hands. Edna says, I'll make hot tea from the roots and sweeten it with milk and molasses. Spring turns into summer, and Edna leads Daddy to a beehive she's found deep in the fragrant honeysuckle woods. He breaks the comb and gathers all the delicious dark amber nectar. Edna dips her finger in the bucket. Honey on hot biscuits sweetens the morning, she says, smacking her lips. Then she recites, a swarm of bees in May is worth a load of hay. A swarm of bees in June is worth a silver spoon. And a swarm of bees in July is not worth a fly. And there they are walking. Oh, did you see that? A warm breeze is blowing and it's cherry picking time. Everyone races to the trees and up the ladders to fill buckets and bellies with the ripe fruit. Edna says, ooh, a deep dish cherry pie. That'll be the reward for all of our hard work. Brother says, look at that bird in the cherry tree. He's eating them one by one. He's shaking his bill. He's getting his fill as down his throat they run. Look at all those beautiful cherries. Guess what? I live just right next door to a town called Cherry Valley. What do you think Cherry Valley produces in its town? Cherries. When the wild blackberries are ripe, Edna, sister, and brother forage early in the day before thunderstorms start to rumble. Sweet berries stain hands and lips and teeth blue. Brother says the ripe ones come easiest off the vine, and the lowest ones are the sweetest. Watch out for snakes. They like berries too. Edna calls across the brambles. How about we make a summer pudding or a cobbler? Or just have a bowl full of berries with sugar and cream. Oh, the blackberries. Long about midsummer, it's time to gather sun-ripened peaches from the orchard. Edna eats them straight from the tree, and the warm, sweet juice runs down her chin. Mama says, 6 perfect peaches make a perfect pie. Ah, that's true, Edna says, but the best dessert on a hot summer day is peach ice cream. And there will be plenty of willing hands to help turn the crank on the ice cream bucket. Peaches, Auntie sighs, pure as angels, sweet as love. Edna plucks garden-warm tomatoes from a vine heavy with fruit and places them in Mama's outstretched apron. Southern dirt mixed with southern sun makes a right sassy tomato, Mama says. My favorite lunch above all is a tangy tomato sandwich. Look at those guys. Sugar baby watermelons ripen in the fields, and as the sun sets, the family gathers round, and Daddy plugs the melons till he finds a perfect one. Melons are just like friends, Granny said. Gotta try 10 before you get a good one. Everyone savors the crisp, cool, juicy slices. The children spit the seeds as far as they can. Daddy says, save some of those seeds to plant for the new melons. Between slurps Edna says, "Save the rind. We'll make watermelon pickles." In high summer, early mornings are hot and they're dry. Edna, brother, and sister stand at the edge of the cornfield in the shade of the pine trees where the night's coolness still hovers. "Corn on the cob makes the best summer supper," says brother. "I say it's corn pudding that does that," Edna says. "Skillet cornbread is my favorite," says sister. And then she sings, "Wake up, Jacob, day's a breaking, frying pan's on and cornbread's baking. Bacon in the pan, coffee in the pot. Get up now and get it while it's hot." Out in the vegetable patch, and let me show you their vegetable patch. Wow. Tidy rows of beans are ready for the picking. Bushel baskets fill quickly as 3 pairs of hands make a game of pulling beans from the bushes. "A bowl of speckled butter beans for dinner tonight," sister says. "Rattlesnake and Christmas beans are next," says Edna. "We're rich as kings as long as we have beans," says Mama. Edna skips beside brother down the farm lane to the leafy vineyard. Sunny, sunny, sunny. Clusters of muscadine grapes grow in wild abundance. Vines twined in the treetops. Ripe grapes make a perfect afternoon feast. "Oh, I love the jam these grapes will make," Edna says. "Come winter, it'll be a little taste of summer." Brother nods. "On a cold day, there's nothing more comforting than a thick slice of bread piled high with Mama's grape jam." It's back to school just as the apples start to ripen. They crunch with every bite and taste as sweet as honeycomb. "There's so much to do with good apples," says Edna. "With bushels of apples in the cellar, we'll have an apple butter and we will have apple cider and applesauce all winter long. But today I'll make apple crisp, sweet and tart at the same time." Then she sings, and I'm not going to sing, I'll just say it. And then she sings, "Don't ask me no questions, and I won't tell you no lies, but bring me some apples and I'll make you some pies. And if you ask questions about my having the flour, I'll forget to use 'lasses and the pie will be sour." Oh, she's standing up in the tree. On a coming of winter morning, there's still one more harvest to gather. The leaves are falling and so are the nuts. Ping, ping, ping. Pecan and walnuts clatter on the rooftop. The family fills baskets full of them. Edna cracks the shells and picks out the tiny nut meats. Nut butter cookies. Oh, wow. That sounds so good to me all of a sudden. Nut butter cookies and walnut bread, yes, will taste mighty good, she says. Then Granny sings, "Raccoons up the pecan tree, possums on the ground. Raccoon shakes the pecans down, possum pass 'em around." And it looks like everybody has a job. As the first snow falls, Edna inspects the cellar. It is full of good things. And we'll take a look at this cellar and let's see if you can pick out some of these things. Nut cakes and cookies, honey and jam, 3 kinds of dried beans, rows of canned corns, jars of tomato, and crocks of pickles line the shelves. Can you pick out some of those things? Corn and beans, and I think she said there were some, oh, I see, did they have peaches? You can never have too much summer, says Edna. The house fills with the aromas of cooking, warming the spirit on a cold afternoon. Long winters ahead, said Daddy. Well, without winter, there'd be no spring, says Mama. That's right, says Edna, and come spring, we'll hear the whippoorwill call again. Then we'll all go gathering again. You can tell the season, can't you, by the tree? And I want to show you the picture of Edna. And there she is, an older woman, but a chef no less. How did you like that? I personally love books that talk about gardening and food out there in the gardening and picking it and doing things with it and cooking. So I know that I would put a definite like to this book. But what did you think about this book? Did you like it? We will see you next time.